Hello, hello, friends. How are you today? It has been a nasty, humid, gross day. Normal Southeast Texas weather, right? Okay, my friend Krista is going to come on and talk to us a little bit about her business and how she works as she fascinates me for real. I think realtors are super busy people, right? So anybody doing this business and working actually, that I find that to be just like way more higher respect level of someone who actually is like, you got this a full-time job and you're doing this other job too, right? So how do you juggle? And I love hearing people's stories because I'm working home full-time. So for me, this is totally different. And I really like hearing other people's stories and how they juggle this life and make it work for them so well, because Krista is super successful in this business. Okay, so I'm going to add her on. And here she comes. Hello.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am doing well. We're rocking the no makeup look today, so just excuse that for today.
No worries. You know what? Today was my hair day, so I was like, I'm actually gonna put some makeup on and
Yeah,
do, because it was hair day. Fresh hair just makes you feel like you need to do something.
absolutely.
So sorry I was a few minutes late. I seriously just kicked Josh out of the office. We share the office space, and I was like, I have to get on right now. So
No
yeah,
problem at all.
that's just the
Well, thanks.
way it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. So I was saying, like, I'm always super impressed to hear people's stories of how you work this, like, full-time job, and you work this other, which for you, I don't know if I would say it's like, I mean, it's full-time. I don't know. I don't know. How do you fit that? Because it is full-time, but how do you fit both into your life? And that I find very fascinating. And like, I just apparently don't have that much organizational skills. You do, and I appreciate them because I've learned a lot from you. So yeah, I just kind of want you to, tell us a little bit about you and how you do both of these things and make it work and not be over consuming, your life and being a mom and all the other things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so just a little bit about me. I am a mom of two little boys. I have a 10-year-old. No, gosh, he's 11 now, 7-year-old. And busy in sports and all of the things, right? And
Yeah.
so I was a teacher for 12 years when I got into this industry. And I got into it just honestly for some discount on some makeup that I wanted, and didn't really know what I was getting myself into as far as the business goes,
Yeah.
right? It was very,
Same.
I had heard a lot of people talking about it, and so I just didn't know. Fast forward, I quickly learned that there was a ton of potential to this business model. And at the same time, I kind of started to get to a point where I didn't know that I could keep teaching. I didn't know that it was still my passion anymore. Things had changed, and I just didn't know if I wanted to do it forever. And so I was like, I need to find a way that I can do what I love and really make the most out of this business model to hopefully someday allow me to be able to leave teaching. So
Yeah.
I ended up switching to another makeup company that had a stronger compensation plan once I kind of learned the business side of it. And I did eventually leave teaching, and I went into corporate marketing, which was exciting. It was something I had kind of wanted to do for a long time. But then 2020 happened. And as with a lot of people, I lost my job. We were a very small firm. And so we shut down, and I lost my job. And it was in that moment that I realized how important having that second stream of income was, because it's what made it to where we weren't in panic mode when I lost my job. So at that point, I had two choices. I could just get back out there and start interviewing and find another 9-to-5 that maybe I wasn't super passionate about, but just knowing that I can have a job, or I could chase my dreams a little bit further. And around this same time, I decided that I was going to go ahead and give real estate a try. It's something I had been interested in for a long time. And I had a friend that I used to teach with that was doing it. And so I was like, okay, I'll go ahead and put myself through school. And while I'm going through school, I'll figure out what else I'm going to do. Right. And right about that exact same time, I saw a live with my dear friend, Miss Bree Richardson, breaking down this compensation plan. And I knew she'd been in my previous makeup company, and I was like, wait, that's not the comp plan for that company. Like, what is going on here? And
Yeah.
for intrigued just by everything I saw, the multiple ways to earn, the $10,000 and $3,000 bonus, the fact that it was volume only based, which was something I had been hoping for years in my career, because having to have this perfect structure does not always work out, right?
Yeah.
And so I saw this live. I reached out. I was very curious, but again, I was hesitant because I didn't have a full-time job and I was putting myself through school, and what income I had coming in was stable. I thought it was great. Looking back, it was not as good as it should have been. Right now
Yeah.
it's possible, but it was stable, and I was very, very scared to lose that. So long story short, from about October till February, we went back and forth, back and forth. I was very scared to make the move, and I finally just decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to go all in because, at one point in time, she said to me, like, what if your team is just waiting on you to make a move to find something that could be better for everybody? And so that really hit home, and I knew so many people were struggling. And so I did. I just made the move and I started Tranont. So I say all of that because I literally built my Tranont business hand in hand, side by side with my real estate business. I literally did them at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And for most people, that would feel very overwhelming. But what I had learned in marketing is that what you do to grow a business, and especially in real estate, for those realtors out there watching, is very, very similar to what you do in network marketing, right? Both of them are centered around networking, building a network, and then giving value to other people and showing up to love and serve on them, right? And so it's the same between both. So I really just doubled down and put a lot of effort into my social media and into putting myself out there into different networking events and things like that. And I grew them both simultaneously. And what's really, really cool about it is that a lot of my real estate clients, have now become Tranont clients, and then vice versa. I've gotten real estate clients from meeting people through Tranont as well. And so my biggest tip for those who, even if you're a teacher or a nurse or you do something else, is be really intentional with your time. When I was a teacher, I would get up 30 minutes early just to make sure I could get some work done before school. And then throughout the day, if I had breaks, I would plug in 5-minute increments. I would sit in the parking lot before I drove away to go home to answer messages and do work there so that when I got home, I could be there with my kids, right? So being very intentional. Now with real estate, I do a lot of the same things. So again, both of them kind of work well together, but it's just really time blocking and making sure that I'm spending the right amount of time on the right things. And so it is something that can be done. The structures between real estate and network marketing are so very similar, but I will tell you this, within our company, the money that you put out, even to get started, but then moving forward is so much less than real estate is. So, it's a lot to get a real estate license, and it's a lot to keep a real estate license. And there are lots of monthly fees and things like that where within our organization, you get started with the pack and that's it. You don't have the and things like that. So when you look at what you have to put out there to earn an income, the risk is way lower in network marketing, specifically within Tranont, than a lot of other things out there. But if you've done real estate and you've built a business and you know how to be interactive with clients and to be out there and network, you will do beautifully here. Again, it's very, very similar, but it all comes down to just being very intentional with your time. That's the best advice that I can give. And lastly, picking a company that has systems in place for you. I think that is where I hit a brick wall, and I struggled so hard in my previous companies is there weren't systems in place. Everybody kind of did things a little different. And so I was constantly trying to have to figure out, well, what works for me? Now let me try to teach other people how to do this, and let me try to get people on board. Okay, now it didn't work for you, so let me try something else. And it was hard. And to be really honest, it was hard. And so here, having the systems in place, the 60 days of social media posts that you're given, the Facebook groups that we have with tens of thousands of customer and business testimonies in them that you can literally plug people into to allow that to kind of be your social media. So you're not having to flood your own social media with all of these different things, which I know is a pain point for a lot of people. You let it do the work for you while you're sleeping, right? And so those systems have been able to create massive momentum and action within this specific time that I have built within a company. And I'll tell you this, like in a shorter amount of time, I have built bigger and faster than I've ever been able to do before, all while building another business, and a successful business. I don't say that to toot my own horn, but over from my first year of real estate into my second year of real estate, I grew my business 94%, which is huge.
Yeah.
And it was really profitable. It was really good. So it was a really big jump, again, all while building Tranont. And so if you can just plug into the systems, utilize the things that are there for you, and be intentional with your time, hands down, you will be able to make this really successful.
Yeah, I totally agree. And like, and I was in that other company with you, so I know that system
Yeah.
as well. Because some people have told me like, oh, well, I've tried that. I'm like,
Yeah.
you have, but it's different.
Yeah.
It's different here because we didn't have
Yeah.
those things in place over there, and I totally felt that way. Like I was very lost, trying to figure everything out on my own, and just like following, watching other people, trying to figure it out. I mean, I just kind of was like, oh, and yeah. So, but here we have those systems. You're right. Like having that testimonial group is so huge to be able to share that with people, and and back our products because they are super impactful as well as our comp plan, super
Yeah.
impactful. It's insane that we get all of the things that we do, that we have 7 different ways that we get paid, which is so nuts, right? And we're both going on that trip.
Yeah. Super close.
Yeah.
Last working on the last minute.
I'm like so excited for convention coming up and being with our community again, because that too, that is such a big part of why I love this business too, is because of who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
The environment in which we have created here is so incredibly wonderful. And I can't imagine, I would never go back to doing anything I was doing before, because I didn't have that community. And that is one of the first things I fell in love with here, is the willingness of everyone's support. And like you, like just reaching out and asking people, hey, come share your story, because others need to hear that. They need to know what else is available to them. And plan B is great, but it might become plan A one day, and everybody needs the backup.
Well, and
so why not?
Yeah. And have that plan B before you need it. Because my gosh, if I had that in place at the time when I was literally not expecting to lose my job, it would have been a very different situation, and my life could be very different right now, so it's always imperative, I think, to build something that is stable and consistent before you actually need it.
Yes, for sure. And we just offer really simple ways to do this. Exactly, to get in. The cost of getting in and having your own business is like so minimal compared to anything else you would ever think about having your own business with.
Yeah.
And you really are your own boss here, and you can choose how and when you want to work. I love that you just fit this in of, if you got 5 minutes, you got 10 minutes here. And I kind of work like that too sometimes. Even though I do this full time at home, but if my kids are active and when we're here and there, sometimes I'm in the car, and I'm just answering messages or something. But you can fit in. You really can, because this company is so freaking awesome, and we have incredible systems.
Yeah.
That's the key to everything, is having something that's duplicatable and works, and you can do that for everyone. You can teach everyone. You don't need experience. You don't have to have it.
Nope.
But works so well along with what you're doing, because you're right, you're already socializing all the time. That's part of the job as a realtor.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be putting yourself out there for people to know you and want to be with you. You are essentially selling yourself so that people will want to come to you.
Yeah.
It's not really that different.
Nope.
I think it does work exactly together. So it's perfect blend.
I agree. Yep. It's been great.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good. Thanks. I'm so glad they had you on. I really probably should ask you something else. I really want to focus on what you do, because I mean, that is so massive, of having this very successful business and then a second very successful business.
Yeah.
But
well, and if you think too, like, just I'll kind of leave it on this, like, the real estate market is ever changing, right? And so you can't control the market. And so just knowing that, you could have a month where you've got 4 closings, and then you could have 3 months with no closings. And so having something to fill in those gaps that's not taking away from what I'm already doing is absolutely huge. And really, if you watch this and you see this and you're like, gosh, that would be really nice, just reach out and ask the questions. I always tell people, like, if it's not for you, it's not for you. But if you don't ask and you don't know, then you could be missing out on something really, really big.
Yeah, true. I mean, I don't see how it can't be for you, but for some people, really, maybe this is isn't their gig. I love going live. I love sharing. I love talking about products and sharing stories with people and meeting new people and all this. Like, I love all that.
Yeah.
And maybe for some people, they're not as social that way. But you can still build, you can still have a business, even just referring people and, just because you love the products and just having those customers that you refer to. I mean, that's still having extra income coming through. And then maybe one day it might be something. But yeah. Plan B, definitely. Everybody
Absolutely.
needs the plan B. But
Yep.
it's been really great. And I think a lot of people could use this in their life if they really knew how different it is here and the culture that has been created, because it's so flippin'
I agree.
fantastic. And yeah, can't wait to go to
I
convention
know.
and see everybody.
Not even a month.
No, it's
Like,
just a few
yep.
weeks. And I still don't have clothes.
Well, there's time.
I'm
On.
trying to find a Western
Yeah.
outfit, and I'm like stressing over it bad. I don't
That
know.
I have that under control. That I've got.
I, and I kind of still, well, yeah, I'm looking for something to walk on stage, because I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know what I want to wear,
Yeah.
and everything. I'm overly thinking it, but I'm super excited to see
Yeah.
community and just be with everybody. All the vibes and feels we get just being around each other. It feels like it's been forever
Yeah.
since we've had that. For me, it was just October, but still, even at base camp, that wasn't like
Yeah.
everyone. But
Right.
yeah,
Like,
it's just so good. It's fun and great to be together and be in just a community where everybody just absolutely feels the same way that you do, and we all have so much passion for
mhm.
what we do.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, thank you for having me. I
yeah.
appreciate you.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you coming on and sharing with us all things and just some extra tips. And hopefully that this will help someone. And, if they see this, and reach out to one of us if you have questions about anything. Yeah, just reach out, and we're always willing and excited to talk to anyone. And again, if it's not for you, that's okay, but at least you'll know.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. All right. Well, have
all right. See you good. All right. See you soon. Bye.
bye.